Do you just buy new clothes every day? How are your whites and such so crisp? I washed a white tee once and it looks grey. Oh, thank you for noticing, because I do indeed try and take good care of my clothes and keep them looking as crisp as possible. But I don't buy new clothes very often. Rarely, in fact, maybe once every 6 months. I'm not a big shopper anymore. I used to be when I was younger, when I cared more about fashion. But nowadays, my wardrobe is pretty much a collection of very old basics that I've had for years. My philosophy is buy less but spend more. So I don't pay attention to trends, and I go for longevity. So things that I think will last me years and years. And for some people, newness is everything. So they buy lower quality clothes in high volume. But I kind of appreciate oldness. So I go for classic sporty pieces that don't go out of style in heavyweight cottons that last forever. And I love a pure wool coat too. One classic pure wool coat can last you your whole lifetime, like a blanket. And as a Gen Xer, I remember back in the 80s in our youth, wool was cheap. Everybody had a wool coat. But now it's a high end luxury. But it's worth saving up for because all these nylon and polyester blends don't last. So you're better off having one decent coat that you don't have to replace. And I know so many people buy cheap clothes because they can't afford expensive clothes, or that's what they tell themselves. But if they were to trade in all the cheap clothing they bought over 6 months for a piece of expensive clothing, they'd be better off. As for my whites, most of them are actually kind of grayish like yours, but you can't really tell on social media. Also, I generally buy more cream than white because when cream gets discolored, you can't tell. Another useful hint is whenever you get food stains on your clothing, just dab some washing up liquid or dish detergent, as you call it in the US. Dab some of that straight on the stain and let it sit for like 5 minutes and then put it in the wash and the grease will come out. And finally, my top tip is not to wear your outdoor clothing at home. I know I'm wearing my outdoor clothing right now because I'm just about to go out, but generally at home, I wear my Fruit of the Loom sweats. I've got two grey Fruit of the Loom sweatsuits, which you'll see me wearing in a lot of my content because those are like my PJs basically. As soon as I get home, I change into my what I call my prison sweats because that's what they wear in many prisons across the world. And I can get as many food stains on it as I want and it doesn't matter. And they have holes in the seams and everything. But who cares when you're at home? And that way, all my going out clothes remain pristine. Do you know what? I should start some kind of consumer advice series, shouldn't I?